Hello again. Well, of course, the week's leave was very welcome, and I guess that there would be many of my ex-colleagues who would, in fact, be proud of their uniforms and would be wearing their hats at a jaunty angle and parade around the town and dance halls for the obvious reasons, I suppose. But of course, we had serious competition in those days, in that the American GIs had much more access to silk stockings and lipsticks and candy and cigarettes and things. So I don't know how they got on, but for me, I was just glad to get home and get out of my uniform and into civilian clothes again, and of course get back to my beloved bike. And of course ogle at my friends, not my friends, my elder brother who was in the forces, who had left his Norton machine behind, and something that I clamoured to be able to do one day. We had moved to a more modern house by this time, a very nice detached house with um, no central heating, but a boiler in the kitchen that heated hot water, and of course we had all indoor facilities of bathing and all the facilities of more modern living, and it was situated opposite to the Norwich Speedway track, which I guess many of the residents would complain about, but for me, of course, it was wonderful, and to get up and close to the noise of open exhaust pipes and the smell of methanol and castrol was wonderful. Unfortunately, while I was home, there wasn't a meeting, but of course, after the war, I did visit. I did attend many of the meetings. I did have a go at it myself, and I can't find a picture of me on a speedway bike, but I turned out to be useless, really. But it was an experience, and it was nice to be sort of backstage, as you might say, to meet all the riders who were good, and also it was near to a wartime airfield, probably about a quarter of a mile away, and again, people complained about the noise of aircraft taking off. They usually took off to the sea if the wind was favourable, but other times they didn't, and I just loved the noise of the Stirling engines on Wellington bombers going over the house. Unfortunately, of course, there were many occasions which I didn't personally witness, but poor airmen and bomber crews who were trying to make it back to the airfield being all shot up, and probably many of the people inside already dead, didn't make it. And there was one occasion where my brother, who was in the army, was home on leave, and he was staying in the home of his girlfriend, and a Wellington bomber crashed onto some houses quite close by. So they're very sad occasions, and one has to have respect for those very brave men who did that. Anyway, from the new house, the butcher's shop was still established in Philadelphia Lane, and I only mention that because do you remember the Norwich Speedway track in Philadelphia Lane, Derek? And my mother and father would go down there daily to run the business, and so it was a new life. They had also upgraded to a much better car. which was well, not exactly, but very similar to this. It was a Morris 10, and of course a saloon car. So, what with upgrading to a more modern house and a more modern car, life was going, I think, as well as it could for them. Anyway, the leave was a welcome break, and being able to take a deep breath and await further instructions as to where I was going to go and what would be my career in the Navy. So obviously I will tell you about that next time.